channel. This is your host. Some call me old school. I call myself young blood. We're going to talk a little bit about being intentional. What does that mean? Being intentional. Every breath you take should be for a purpose. I showed some videos just a few days ago about language and how the words you speak can cast spells on people. Not intentionally, you're not intentionally doing it because you don't know what you're saying. So in being intentional, you have to know, in being intentional, you have to know the effect of your words. Example, people always tell you be blessed. Be blessed. How do you spell blessed? B-L-E-S-S. Now what does that say? What does that say? Just look at the words. It's two words. B. B-E. Less. L-E-S-S. But you can go the route of actually looking up the root word, and you see it does with blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice. That's not a word you want to use. You don't want to tell someone to be less because your intention is to make them prosperous, but you're doing the opposite because you don't know English. That's why English is a language of confusion. That's why we gave it to the rulers. Because the only way he can rule was with confusion. By the way, let me digress here and thank the people at the community because they violate their own standards. But I'm not complaining because every time my videos are deleted or removed without any reason, it shows that I'm on the right path. So you should see the same thing in your videos. If your videos are never removed, they're always intact, they're allowed to rotate. That means you in harmony with the community. Now you have to know which community you're going to be a part of. The community of right or the community of wrong. If you're part of the community of wrong, they don't never see anything wrong with your videos because they're wrong. The fruit don't fall far from the tree. So if you're in the community of right, then they say, if you are in the community of right, then those in the community of wrong, they see everything wrong with your video. So they block it, do whatever they can, delete it, mute it, because it convicts them of their wrong. It puts the puzzle together of what's really going on. They feel threatened by that because you can't rule if people know what's going on. So that's the community of deception. Now let's return to the lesson at hand. These words, these English words. We just had a video I showed you. The woman talked about weekend. Go back and watch it. She talked about weekend. They spell it WEEKEND. You're telling people have a happy weekend. Now, let's put on your intentional glasses and look at the word. What is it really saying? Week. It's spelled WEAK. N. EN. And you wonder why you're so tired at the end of the week? Because people always telling you happy weekend. You've been weakened with the word, people trying to tell you have a happy weekend. But the vowels are interchangeable. This is the deception of the language. It says in the scriptures, you're blessing, you think you're blessing people, but you're giving them a curse. So stop these. It takes time for you to realize the intention of these words. But every breath you take it with intention to know the meaning of the words, whether you're putting a spell on somebody or not. That's why I use the word bliss, BLISS, which means a higher vibration of consciousness, bliss. Say that instead of the other word to make somebody less or to sacrifice blood. You have to do your study of these words. They weren't just given to you by accident. You have to know the meaning behind them and discover what your intent. We're going to keep it short so y'all watch it. Any intelligent comments? Anybody got something to say? Greetings. Thank y'all for coming by.